So I don't really read fiction by genre anymore. That's not a knock at all at genre fiction. I really enjoy genre fiction, but I don't pick books based on, is it a fantasy novel, is it a science fiction novel. I don't really do that anymore. I think the big one for me is that the things I enjoy in a story aren't really telegraphed by the type of genre that it is. A genre tells you something about the setting of a story, it maybe tells you something about the plot of a story, but things like character arcs, things like emotional investment, things like setup and payoff, these sorts of things, like those aren't specific to any genre. Those are just things that good stories have. And you can have those things in science fiction, you can have those things in fantasy, you can have those things in literary fiction. So being in a particular genre doesn't tell me that I'm going to find those things. I tend to group my writing as sort of between science fiction and fantasy storytelling. That's not really a product of the story I'm trying to tell. That's just a product of how my imagination works and the kind of worlds that I start describing when I sit down to write a story. But the things that are in my mind when I'm writing are very much character related things. They're very much plot related things. It's very much about how you give those characters satisfying arcs with kind of a really good emotional payoff at the end. And I don't think that's a genre fiction thing. It's difficult. I'd love to know how you pick books if you don't pick books by genre, because most recommendations I seem to find tend to be like, oh, here's some other books in the genre that you like, and that doesn't really work for me. So if you've got any recommendations other than just reading the classics, I'd really like to know.